In Olympia, Alzheimer's patients are pushing for more funding and research. Their message to lawmakers, but first.
A weather impact alert is in place as we have more snow coming down and its impact in the morning commute.
That second round of snow hit the Palouse hard tonight. We sent the crew south to bring you the latest on conditions and what you can expect tomorrow morning.
KREM 2 News 10 at 10 begins now with Mark Hanrahan and Jeremy Legoo.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started tonight. One storm down, another to go. While we are only expected to see a couple of inches here in town tonight, the snow is piling up down on the Palouse. This is a look at the roads around Pullman right now, where they're expecting to get another 6 inches of blowing snow overnight. We start with team coverage. KREM 2's Cody Proctor is down in Pullman right now, talking with students on the new round of snow. First, though, we go to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo, who's been tracking the storm all night long. And Jeremy, what can folks expect for their morning commute tomorrow?
Mark, I don't think it's just the snow. I do believe it is going to be wind as well. When it comes to the wind gusts, I think they're going to blow at about 30 miles per hour. What that means is this light, fluffy, cold snow is going to continue to blow across some of those roadways. Below 4,000 feet, 1 to 3 inches, pretty widespread. Above 4,000 feet, 4 to 8 inches of snow. You move down into the Palouse, 5 to 8 inches of snow for just about everybody, even more if you head up into the mountains. This is playing out about exactly how we expected it to. Snow won't taper off until early tomorrow morning. It's before the sun comes up, but still it's early tomorrow morning. And then scattered showers take us through the day with what looks to be another round arriving tomorrow evening and then eventually working its way out. It is a very active weather pattern for us, and that snow doesn't come to an end after this round, but through tomorrow morning, we're expecting to get widespread many more inches of snow. I think 2 to 4 takes you from Ritzville up to, say, Bonners Ferry, 3 to 6, Sandpoint, Coeur d'Alene, down through Pullman, Moscow, Lewiston. Locally, you'll see more in that area, and with temperatures staying below freezing, all the snow that's flying isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Next wave arrives Thursday. Friday might very well be our only break in the action we have this week.
All right, sounds good. Jeremy will check back in with you later in the show. As Jeremy mentioned, that Palouse is expected to see the brunt of the storm. KREM 2's meteorologist Cody Proctor live in Pullman tonight after speaking with people about this latest round of snow. Cody?
Mark, well, it has snowed from the moment we arrived in Pullman, and right now we're looking at that snow continuing to fall well after we head back to the station. Now, while this is not the first snowfall of the season here, this is looking like it could be some of the most significant so far, and that's not stopping students at WSU. The land of the Cougs turned into a winter wonderland Tuesday. No matter where you go in Pullman, you'll find snow from downtown to campus. You might also find a few snowball fights.
I'm really happy that's snowing. I feel like it has not snowed enough. Back in my hometown, it's been snowing a lot, and they had 2 days canceled so far, school, so I was a little jealous.
Everyone's got a smile on their face today. Like, everyone's just doing better, you know? I think that's what the snow brings, at least for most people.
While the snow is certainly pretty, it hasn't been all fun. Freshman Matthew Schlichting found that out while riding with a friend.
He has a truck, and we almost couldn't get up a hill. He was like, gotta put it in 4-wheel drive. And so I know, like, transportation-wise in the snow is pretty scary.
The winter weather also helped Carson Munch realized he needs some new clothes.
If my mom sees this, she's gonna say I told you so, but I definitely need some boots. The boots might be necessary if we get up to 4 to 6 inches.
But clothing aside, these students say enjoy the snow while it lasts.
Go and play in it before it melts.
Yeah, soak it up, soak it all up.
Now, of course, while there has been a lot of fun happening on campus, the snow has also led to some pretty slick roads and slick sidewalks as well. For example, US 195 driving down to the Palouse proved to be dicey at times with that snow and blowing snow across the roadways. Drivers were certainly going slow with those conditions. WashDOT says they ended up calling in extra crews and they're prepared for a long night. Live in Pullman, Cody Proctor, KREM 2 News.
Cody, get back home safe tonight. As she mentioned, want to take a look at some major roads running through Spokane tonight. Here's a live look at I-90 in Thorpe. You can see the snow piling up, almost covering the roadway entirely at this hour. Conditions will only get worse as you head down to Pullman, as Cody just mentioned. Now taking a look at the interstate, here is I-90 and Division. Tonight, WashDOT asking you plan ahead and leave plenty of room for those snowplows out there. Now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. We are tracking new information tonight in the case of the 2-year-old child who was rushed to the hospital after overdosing on fentanyl. It happened over the weekend at a Spokane Valley hotel on North Argonne. According to the affidavit, when deputies got to the scene, the woman was holding her 2-year-old child, and the affidavit states the mom told deputies she found the child holding a spoon that she uses for fentanyl, and that's when she gave the child Narcan. Spokane County Medical Examiner Dr. Veena Singh says this incident is only a sign of a much bigger problem facing the county.
In 2023, 5% of all deaths in Spokane County were due to overdoses. We're still finalizing the numbers for 2024, but the trend does continue upward, as you see.
Dr. Singh says in 2023, there were 301 overdose deaths in the county. In 2024, that number grew to 341 deaths. The medical examiner says in 2025, we are on track to meet or exceed that number with 30 overdoses in the first 31 days of the year. Meantime, the child's mother in that case appeared in court yesterday. She is facing multiple charges, including endangerment and providing false or misleading statements to a public servant. And today, the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee held a hearing on the fentanyl crisis. Senators heard from a drug victim advocate, a researcher, and a mother who lost her son to fentanyl.
Today marks another month that my son, Devin Joseph Noring, was taken from my family at the age of 19, well before he ever got the chance to really begin life. You see, Senators, that is how parents like myself now measure time. He had been suffering from blackout migraines and dental pain that he'd been under doctor's care for. And at the height of the pandemic, those appointments were canceled, and we believe Devin was desperate by any means necessary to treat the pain.
A large focus of the hearing was to consider fentanyl for a class rescheduling to make it a Schedule I narcotic instead of a Schedule II. However, some senators suggested action against social media, as users often sell and buy the substance through online venues. Others focused on border concerns, pointing the finger at migrants bringing drugs into the country. We have learned the man accused of shooting and killing a Spokane teen had his bond reduced after his first appearance yesterday. A judge had originally ordered 25-year-old Glenn Dylan Berkey his bond to be set at $3 million, but reduced it to $2 million. Berkey faces 3 felony charges, including second-degree murder relating to the killing of 13-year-old Gavin Looper. And that was your night beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. In other news tonight, the Trump administration says tariffs on Chinese goods are now in effect. China already pushing back, saying it will now impose tariffs of its own on U.S. imports. Starting next week, China says it will impose a 15% tariff on coal and liquefied natural gas products coming from the U.S., as well as a 10% tariff on crude oil, agricultural machinery, and large engine cars as well. The White House says President Trump plans to speak to Chinese President Xi Jinping soon.
The president made it very clear with the 10% tariff on China that he is not going to allow China to continue to source and distribute deadly fentanyl into our country.
The Trump administration reached a deal yesterday with Mexico and Canada to pause looming tariffs in both countries after they helped stop the movement of illegal drugs into the country, he said. A local HVAC company says it is concerned about how President Trump's tariffs and how the ones placed on U.S. in response could impact their businesses and their customers. AF Honest Home Services has been operating in Spokane for 3 years. They say they use equipment from Canada, Mexico, and China. Owner Amanda French says she's worried about how the tariffs will impact prices.
People are coming and asking us what's going to happen, and I'm asking people too, and they're asking. I mean, it's just this chain of what are we going to do, what's going to change, how is this going to affect us moving forward, because it's not like this is a faraway problem. This is a problem that's going to happen right now.
President Trump has picked former Washington congressional candidate Joe Kent to lead the National Counterterrorism Center. Kent, a former Green Beret, ran for the 3rd Congressional District in Southwest Washington twice and lost both of those races. During his 2022 campaign, he called for the defunding of the FBI and said the COVID-19 vaccine was experimental gene therapy. The president called him a great American hero, while Washington State's Democratic Party chair called him a destructive choice. The nomination still needs to be confirmed by the Senate. Meantime, Washington's Attorney General is warning federal employees in the state about a buyout offer from the Trump administration, calling it misleading. Nick Brown joined 11 other state attorney general in issuing the warning. They urged federal employees to contact their union first. Two of the largest unions representing federal workers have urged caution as well, saying the offer contains no guarantees. An email to federal workers last week said they could be paid through September if they resign. Reuters reports about 20,000 workers have taken the offer so far. That's about 1% of the government workforce. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time. But don't go to bed yet. The push to increase funding for Alzheimer's research and testing as the state grapples with a budget deficit. We're back in 90 seconds.